wanted to do a quick troubleshooting video on this Aquasana reverse osmosis system. I will start by saying that we haven't really had much trouble with it, so I don't know if troubleshooting is the right word so much as this is our first reverse osmosis system that we have owned, and I was confused by some of the things that happened after we installed it, and so hopefully this will help you skip some of the research that I had to do in order to figure out how to properly use it and what I was seeing. So the first thing, I'll show you the system while I'm talking here. The first thing is that we installed it pretty close to our drain here. And so when the tank is filling, it makes this gurgling noise out of our sink up here. If you have a dishwasher, it's the same noise that maybe your sink makes, that gurgling noise when the dishwasher is draining. And it's super annoying because it's just constant until the tank fills, which can take a minute because reverse osmosis is a very involved process because it does take out so many contaminants. So there are two ways to solve that. The more permanent way, which we are going to redo this, is to not install it so close to the drain, but to install it further back on the piping so that you don't hear all that noise from the tank filling and all of that filtration happening. And so we're actually going to be taking out our garbage disposal because we don't use it. We're on a septic tank and you shouldn't have one. And so we're going to reinstall in its place. We need to connect the pipes. We're going to put a length of pipe here and we're going to put the reverse osmosis system more further back on the pipes here, and so we don't hear that. The quick solution, if you'd like to know, is we normally have our drain pan here. So sorry, the sink is dirty, but I just took one of these little drain covers here and put it on, and it muted that really nicely. So that's the quick fix if you need a quick fix. So that is the gurgling noise if you need to figure that out. The second problem is if you are getting black particulate when you're first filling your cup, and that is because you didn't drain the tank enough times. It does say to drain it, I think 2 times in the instruction. We found that most of that black stuff was gone. There wasn't actually much at all, so maybe you don't even have any, but it's just the carbon that's getting out of there. So you want to make sure you drain it a couple of times, and you won't even notice that if you just drain it right into your sink. I was just kind of curious, so we drained it into a bowl. But you do want to drain it until it runs dry at least 2 times. So that leads me into my third troubleshooting thing, which is that I actually think you need to drain it 4 times. And here's why. Because after we drained it that second and third time, the first glass that came out, the water was white, like cloudy. And we were like, what is going on? It's supposed to be clean water. And it actually wasn't cloudy. What was happening was that because when you're installing it, you should be pumping some air in here, or your plumber should be pumping some air in to put pressure in the tank, which is how the water comes up. What actually was happening is that there were still air bubbles from that compression, and the air bubbles were so fine that it was looking like cloudy water. And so we ended up just draining it a couple more times. I think it was 4 times in total that we actually drained it before the water was coming out clear every single time from the first time. And so it took us 4 times at the pressure that we set it at to get all those air bubbles and that whiteness out. It might take you more or less depending on how much of the compressed air that you put in the tank. So hopefully that helps. Those were some of the issues that we had as we were installing it. And like I said, they're not really necessarily issues, not troubleshooting so much as we just weren't really understanding how the system operates. And now we have a much better understanding of it. So hopefully that helps you if you're installing this too. Do check out my other videos. This is troubleshooting. I did an installation one with some installation tips, and I also did an overview, and we're going to be doing a water test side by side with a TD tester. So check that out too to see if it actually really does filter the water like it says. So I was excited to try this system. I did reach out to Aquasana for a free sample in exchange for an honest review. So full disclosure, I am an Amazon associate. I do earn from qualifying purchases, but to keep it honest, I just like to tell you some of our experience with it, and hopefully that helps you decide if it's also for you.